welcome back to my channel. I'm Sassycritic. I love to talk about films and television shows on this channel. Now today we are on to part 4 of Pixar movies, so we are going to be reviewing Monsters Inc. If you are someone that loves film and TV content, be sure to subscribe, like, comment, and all that jazz. I really appreciate it. Let's jump into part 4 of watching Pixar movies, Monsters Inc. Monsters Inc. follows two monsters, Sulley and Mike, who work for Monsters Inc. So Sulley's job is to basically scare kids, and when kids get scared, Mike will basically collect all of their screams and their fears, basically, and then use that energy to fuel Monsters Inc. and the town that they live in their world. One night, while Sulley goes down into the work area, he sees that there's a little girl that is gone home with him. But here's the thing. Monsters are basically programmed to think that kids are scary, kids are dangerous, they can harm you. And so you'd think that the little child named Boo is going to be scared of Sulley, but it's actually Sulley that is scared of Boo. This movie is just really fun. I felt so nostalgic while watching this particular movie. I don't know if anyone else had this, but I had the book. There was like a Monsters Inc. book, and then a part of that book there was a CD, and you'd have to put it in your CD player, and then you'd have a narrator read you the story of Monsters Inc., but they'd also take audio from the film. And I distinctly remember I may have been 5 or 6 years old, sitting on a couch next to my radio with the CD player section on, and Mike's girlfriend, because he has a girlfriend in this movie, just like her audio and how she is talking to Mike, and it's like I distinctly remember that, and I felt so nostalgic while watching that particular scene. It was crazy. Let me know if you guys have ever had this, by the way, because that was a whole entire experience of it on its own. Editing Saskia, and I just want to say that I actually found the read-alongs and CDs for Monsters Inc. I honestly thought that maybe I made up the memory, or maybe they just didn't exist and I was just being crazy, but no, they actually exist. And I went online to try and find some pictures for the video, which I was able to successfully get, but I was very curious. So I went to Amazon and I found that you can pay about $9 for the read along and CD, and then pay additional $11 for delivery, which is a lot of money when you convert it to South African rands. Might I digress. So yeah, you can get them and get it delivered from Amazon. And I found out that you can also get it for Monsters University, which I found really interesting because, Monsters University is one of the more recent Pixar movies. And growing up, I didn't just have a read-along and CD for Monsters Inc. I also had it for The Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast. So it's crazy to know that you can still buy them today. And I tried to go onto the Internet Archive to listen to the tracks. So there's about 26 tracks that you can listen to. Obviously, you have your read-along with you. But for some reason, it didn't want to play. But anyway, I just wanted to include that little fun fact in between filming. But yeah, back to the video. So, as you can tell, I thoroughly enjoyed Monsters Inc. It's a really simple story because the goal in this one is for Mike and Sulley to get Boo back to her room, right? But the problem is you have Randall, who basically wants to keep Boo, and he has this sort of machine to capture kids' screams. There's a big twist in this movie, and I kind of forgot about the twist when I was watching it. So when I saw the film and I saw the big twist, I was like, oh yeah, there was a big twist in this movie. But overall, this film was just a really entertaining one to watch, and I can definitely see myself rewatching it in the future. It's also one of those movies where I feel like movies like Toy Story 2 and Finding Nemo were going to be my top picks for Pixar movies, and they definitely are to a certain extent, at least for Toy Story 2. But this was the movie that really caught me by surprise because I ended up enjoying it a lot more now than when I was a child, which is honestly crazy. And I never really felt that way for any of the previous films. With Toy Story, I enjoyed it the same as a child as I am an adult now. Bug's Life, I barely remembered anything when I was a child watching that movie, so it was like a first experience. And then with Toy Story 2, which is my favorite Pixar movie of all time, I loved it the same. So with Monsters Inc., it really did feel like I loved this movie a lot more now than I did as a kid. And honestly, me trying to fathom that is just crazy. A standout character for me is, of course, Boo. She is the most adorable character in this entire movie. Like her little laughs and the way that she like squeals and all of that. You'd really think she would be someone that is again scared of monsters, but she's really not. And I just found her to be so adorable. I also loved the designs of the monsters. The monsters really were creatively drawn. I especially like Mike's girlfriend's design. She kind of reminds me of Medusa with the snake hairs. And what is interesting about her character is that when she speaks, the snake hairs have their own emotions. So whenever she gets excited and happy and stuff, then the snakes will sort of reflect that emotion. There's a time in the movie where she is straight up mad at Mike, and the snakes on her head is just like portraying that emotion, and it's so funny and it's so entertaining and it's so weird because Mike has one eye, but then you have this character that also has one eye but then has a bunch of snakes. So I don't know if that counts as extra eyes. But anyway, I feel like I'm rambling on. I don't have too much to say about this particular movie, but it's definitely a really good one. I think overall I am going to rate it an 8.5 out of 10. It's just really good. It's thoroughly entertaining. If you grew up watching Monsters Inc., I would highly recommend that you rewatch it now. Maybe you'll find yourself loving it even more now than when you were a kid. Thank you so much for watching along. If you have made it this far in this video, thank you so much. Recently, we have just hit over 1,000 subscribers, and I am so hyped for that. So thank you so much if you have supported me along the way. If you are new to my channel and you do want to support, you can feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell. What are your thoughts on Monsters Inc? I would love to know that down below. In terms of my updates, I do just have to say I am filming in a slightly different location, and that was because I was struggling to find decent lighting for this particular video, but I just settled for this area. Also, apologies for not like really posting any long videos last week. I was busy with some work and I had 2 days off, and I decided to prioritize family over filming a new video. So thank you so much for understanding for that. I do like to try and post daily YouTube shorts. So if you're someone that likes short film reviews, definitely be sure to subscribe. We also have a Sassycritic email, so that would be sassycritic107@gmail.com. If you have any movie requests, video requests, or you're just someone that wants to do a possible collab with this channel, sassycritic107@gmail.com is the email that you can use. But I think that is everything for today. Thank you so much for supporting me, and until then, I will see you in the next one. Bye!